welcome back everybody. Welcome to Motormouths episode 2. I'm Mike from Motec.
James from the Performance Company.
And we have a special guest today. You are?
Ciro Ciampi, Petrolheadonism.Club.
Look at that. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's already watched it. The podcast has actually gone live just on YouTube. We are trying to get it on Apple, Spotify, Apple Music, and another one, I can't remember what it is. It's a little bit harder than YouTube, so bear with us. Yeah, again, so thank you very much. I think we've had 200 views, which is pretty good considering all we've really done is just shout on our own personal social media, not our work ones. So it's pretty good so far. We're hoping it will go up. Now we have a celebrity. I know, exactly,
yes.
yeah. So, James, ask a few questions about our guest.
Well, I know you as the man in the high-vis and the megaphone from all my times coming up to the Sharnbrook Hotel to whether it be Supercar Sunday, American Muscle, Italian Extravaganza show, whatever.
Yeah.
You're there organising. And, of course, we just want to know how that started. What happened? You know, the Sharnbrook Hotel's a lovely place. What was the idea for the first ever car show, and when was that?
Cool. So I feel like I've left my props at home. I should have the orange.
The high vis as well, and a pizza because you're named after a pizza.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. And if you haven't had his pizzas, hook him up. They're good.
So we opened the hotel November 2006, and we went into our first summer. Had a business plan for the bank, and we had so many weddings per month, etc. And it was literally opening up to an empty diary. The restaurant obviously had a really good name, which is what built the new place, the hotel with the grounds and everything. Vesuvio's, yeah.
So the hotel wasn't there in 2006?
No.
Oh, I didn't know
Well,
that.
it was being built in 2004, 2005, 2006 it opened.
Okay.
And so we purpose-built it.
Oh,
And in 2007, I'd been going to car shows previous to that with my classic 1965 Fiat 500 to Harpenden, to other car shows on a small scale. And because we're Italian, trying to think of ways to diversify the business, bring people in for other reasons other than Sunday roast or birthday party, thought, let's open it up, let's do an Italian car and bike day. And so it was June or July in 2007, and literally opened it up to Italian cars and bikes. There was probably 55 cars there. There was a couple of Lamborghinis, 3 or 4 Ferraris. I didn't really have the network. I hit forums, because back in the day you had forums.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had no social media. How would you have got those people in? A forum?
Yeah. So it was forums, it was car clubs. We had 3 local guys that were renowned for their pig roast, and they had this crazy spit that they would roll it on and off the fire. And we had probably about 250 people there.
Wow, on the first event?
On the first event, and it did really, really well. But what was really, really nice was everybody remarked on what a great vibe it was, what a lovely, friendly atmosphere it was. And it was just people coming together that talked about cars. So this is 2007. 2008, we did it again. It doubled in size, doubled the number of cars, doubled the number of people.
Is that just for, yet again, forums? I went to this show, you should go to it next year.
You know, for the first show, the poster, I've got the poster in my office, literally had pictures I'd taken of other people's cars at the Harpenden Classic on the Common event. Yeah. So I'd use pictures that I'd taken, and I always use pictures that we either take or media team take to put it out there. So it doesn't look like the first event, but it was the first event.
Bit of catfishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
But 2008 it grew, then we started getting people complaining that their Aston Martin or their Porsche was put behind the hotel, and it was like, guys, it's an Italian car and bike day, so only Italians beyond this point. 2009 we introduced a classic car day, which then opened it up to a few other cars. 2010 we introduced our 3rd annual show, which was Supercar Sunday. And the brilliant thing is the first Supercar Sunday was as busy as that year's Italian car and bike day. So then that rolled forward, and I think 2012 we introduced our breakfast meeting.
So you've gone from like doing one main show a year to
4.
4. Okay.
I remember we went to Supercar Sunday. You put Mike around the back of the hotel, and I got out right out the front. If
I did, yes.
Were you in the?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what I had at the time.
And you had a Liberty Walk Mini at one point. I can't remember what year it
was.
was.
Slightly later, that'd be 15, I think.
Yeah, so 2015. I didn't have the social media happening, but there was social media happening. And 2015, I remember standing opposite the main entrance of the hotel with you, watching what was going on. And you just said something really poignant that made me stop. And just in that moment, and I remember it, I was just so proud of what had started happening. And I could see it as a movement. So then roll forward to 2017. And that's when I came up with the word Petrolheadonism. I was trying to find an umbrella for all the different events, clubs, meets that we had at the hotel. I was thinking of words like Sharnbrook being a mecca for petrol heads or something. Everything had either been done before, And I've told this story so many times. I went up to see Aid Harris up in Leeds. Took the Gallardo that I had at the time up there, saw his Huayra, his black badge Rolls Royce, his Lambos. And afterwards, when I was just messaging him, I said, thank you for a great day of petrolheadonism. And in that moment, I'd found the word. And I always, every now and then, I message Aid and just say, just remembering the fact you made that word happen. And it was, I trademarked the word and what we do with it. And petrolheadonism literally 2017 went nuts. Social media was really taking a hold. We had Ross Tester come on board as a social media guy. And September 2017 was the Supercar Sunday. We literally, like Silverstone, blocked down the whole area. It was gridlocked.
I remember
for about 2-3 hours. People just came from everywhere. It was before we did ticketing. It was before we had traffic management, and that was the year that kind of literally it blew up. So off the back of that, about 9 events a year.
Really?
9 events a year, Americana, and
so much more. You do things for Tucked,
yeah,
Empire,
Me.
Motec.
Yeah.
You've all had events hosted, run. You know, you offer the security, the organisation, the health and safety.
Yes,
Like
so that's
planning.
where it's evolved after COVID. So before COVID, we'd done a couple of meets for you, 2019.
We did ours was the last meet before lockdown.
And we did 2020. We did the breakfast meet in early March.
Right. Yeah, we did literally, and then 2
Because
days
it was
after.
like touch and go, and I think a week afterwards we had to close down.
Yeah, we actually held our first opening day in this building, and the problem is with it, when you give people an empty space on a Sunday, they drive like Richards. I can say that. And it always worried me, like neighbours, and then we actually did have the police come across because they've just got an empty place. So we agreed never to do one here again because of the amount of numbers. But I didn't want people driving like Richards around where you are.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more controlled. You are set up for. You have a bigger car park. You have. More
We've
space
hosted so many things from
Yeah.
weddings, proms. People kind of step up to the venue and
Respect it.
Yeah, they respect
Yeah.
it.
What's been the biggest event held at the Sharnbrook, automotive-wise, of course?
Not New Year's Eve.
Yeah, no, not New Year's Eve, but automotive-wise, what has been the biggest?
If I look at it from a financial point of view, the Supercar Sundays.
Yeah.
Like literally, Supercars bring out the spectators in droves, and so 2017 was the biggest one because it was just out of control, and there was no ticketing, there was no traffic management, and the field behind the hotel, which is 6 acres, was rammed, and it was 1 in, 1 out. That is the biggest one. Where it went to from there, because of traffic management and ticketing, etc., we could control it, but actually financially it became better. So there were less people, but it was financially better because we introduced a charging structure. And there's this whole thing on social media about whether people should pay to show their cars, because without their cars you don't have a show. But there is other things behind it, like there's, as an event planner, there's costs involved, subscriptions,
Massively.
there's safety,
I don't know how
there's traffic
many
management.
staff you've got there, but
Marshals,
Marshals.
exactly.
But then you've also got
Exactly.
a day the hotel not being used. You haven't got
Yeah,
people going
of
for
course.
Sunday day dinner, so you're
Yeah.
losing revenue on that day to
Yeah,
host.
so you've
the
got to
day.
make it in other ways for the hotel.
And also, you do it in a really good way. You'll pay £5 a ticket, maybe a bit more now, I don't know. Coffee and a Danish, that's what we used to do.
That was for your breakfast,
Yeah,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
perfect. 'Cause what you're going to...
perfect.
Yeah, but you really drilled me down on the pricing, because a Danish is £1, the coffee's £1.50.
Yeah, but I brought lots of nice people too.
And it was a really cool kind of, for me, that was really where I saw different people come into the hotel. Like
Yeah.
we had got 2017 to 2019, Petrolheadonism kind of, not elitist, but everybody knew us for supercars. And then with Motec, with Tucked, we opened up after COVID for the first time from the 4th of July 2020 to other groups. And I started doing smaller car meets for exclusive groups and started opening up different areas. So the Tucked thing has just gone crazy. Lee never thought he could do a car show. I hosted a couple of meet and eats at the hotel, did an exclusive. And then this year we booked Duxford and it went nuts, 4,000 people. And next
Did you
week,
organise that for him?
so then what I've done is I've set up Petrolheadonism as a separate events company from the hotel.
Oh, okay.
And it's its own thing. So we've hosted events for Empire, Our Bar Festival, Calvin's Car Diary.
You're always at Santa Pod with special events going
That's
on
it.
there.
So I'll book out Santa Pod, and the collaboration with Empire is they've got a massive audience. They bring the people in, I bring people in, and then we work it 50-50. And that's what I've done with a lot of the car clubs or groups. And Tucked has been so phenomenally successful that we've set that up as a separate company for me and Lee to go at it. There could be a big event in a couple of weeks at Shuttleworth, but then there's going to be another one that we're looking at, RF Wittering, and it just keeps growing.
It's so difficult to structure this conversation because you have done
A lot. In a
so
short
much. And again, after we went to Supercar Sunday, we got to know you. We brought some Liberty Walk cars down to a Supercar Sunday. We were then on the very special list that received Supercar pizza delivery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was with a Tesla, which isn't
I remember that one.
Well, it was,
isn't necessarily
it's as fast as a
Petrolheadonism, but-
Supercar. Well, I remember the
also,
pizza was
you're
all
all right.
smashed.
Yeah,
you
but
used
I
my
did it with
car.
your all right
Yeah,
with
you
the
did.
guys from America. That was
You
a
did.
cool one.
So you used to do, and it was like a little blog, a little YouTube, or even
Yeah.
on Insta, but it was delivering pizza to local companies in the industry, delivering them pizza. My boys all loved that, of
Yeah.
course.
But then you did it recently with the EBC Fiesta.
The
that
Fiesta
was a
as
giveaway
well,
to
yeah.
charity.
So where that started was I had the Gallardo Spider. We obviously became quite famous for our pizzas and cars, etc. And Limelight TV, Don, he was kind of new at the time. I was like getting into social media. And he said, "What is special about what you do?" And I was like, "Well, people know pizzas and cars. Well, how can you bring that together in a video?" And it was Supercar Pizza Delivery. It never went as viral, or never went viral really, of what it could have done. You know, if we had thought about it better, it could have been like a lad Bible type thing where,
Yeah.
you know, and it could be something we do with a new car. But
With TikTok, that sort of thing.
exactly,
I can see that on there,
exactly.
yeah.
So the Supercar Pizza Delivery had about 20 episodes, and people literally after about 9 episodes, people had given me their cars. I think the best one was we did an Easter egg delivery with pizzas and Easter eggs to the children's ward, and we had about 7 or 8 supercars turn up, and we dressed as superheroes.
That is something else, and of course we've spoke about Supercar Sunday, we spoke about all the events. Something we haven't mentioned is you do and have done a lot for a number of charities.
Make-A-Wish.
Rays of Sunshine.
Rays of
Yeah.
Sunshine,
Yeah,
but there's others. What were
Yeah, so
mental health awareness?
I've become a real advocate for speaking openly about mental health. I got depression in October 2016. If I look back now, having had 3 years of therapy and having gone through that medication cycle, I look back now and I can see that pre-2016, I was going through a massive cycle of being really stressed out, taking some time out to myself, getting stressed again. And it was a cycle that I think started when we opened the hotel in 2006, because it was so full on and I was working 80 hours a week, but doing everything in every direction, from the conferences to the weddings and everything. So having had depression, I learned that talking about it was so important, and men struggle to talk about it. So I will talk about it openly
You
now.
managed quite well.
Well, I talk to you about my stress all day long. I'm all right, and I
He
get
has
stressed.
literally moaned since he got here, hasn't he?
Completely.
I'm fine.
Completely.
I think the happiest moment was when he opened the post.
Yeah, no, they're 2 invoices.
But that is really good, and obviously it's something that everybody should be an advocate for.
Yeah.
Speaking up, speaking out, and I just needed to get that in because I always see you've done some amazing things for Rays of Sunshine, charity car drives.
Yeah, we've got a lot in the planning as well. It's an integral part of the overall plan. We've got Petrolheadonism live in September at Nebworth. So for me, that is just major.
We'll get onto that. That's a whole
I've
different
got to
thing.
get
that's
onto
the whole
that.
thing,
We'll
right.
get onto
But
that.
we've got Rays of Sunshine involved with that,
That's good.
and Sporting Bears, who will do the Dream Rides officially. We've always done the Dream Rides as something we've organised ourselves at Sharnbrook, but by Sporting Bears, that's what they do, and they always raise money for children's charity. They've raised millions over the years.
Do you know how much you've raised?
How much have we raised? Well, no, see, I kind of lump it all together with the charity balls we do.
Yeah, that's still
and
fine, as in you've been
like my
involved.
birthday weekend when I was 40 several years ago, I raised about 19,000 over the weekend, which was a Friday night ball, Saturday night birthday party, Sunday was a car show. So it was about 19,000 over the
that's
weekend.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
and that is really good. And that's a side of the performance car industry that people don't see. You know, people are quick to complain about noisy cars driving
exactly.
down their road.
Yeah.
But
It
the
does bring
money
joy.
Yeah, of
Which
course
brings
it brings
money.
joy.
Yeah.
It brings
Yeah,
joy
yeah,
that
yeah.
brings money, and there is another side to that, and that's fantastic. So before we get on to Nebworth, we've gone about, the Sharnbrook Hotel, the events held there. There's probably no one in this room that was hit harder by COVID than you.
So
And you've been extremely vocal about that
Yeah.
on social media. The problems
shy,
that you've
yeah, no,
encountered.
exactly.
But no, so you should be, because I don't think any of it was from you shouldn't have done any of it. You should have done what you've done. Like there was one thing going, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. If that makes sense, you're looking at it thinking, oh, it's a bit, but it's for you. It's your voice and you know your worries and you're being out there. And I'm like, you haven't done anything.
You've got
it was encouraged by a lot of people that would message me privately to say what I'd said had helped them, and whether it's speaking publicly about mental health, and you get private messages of people saying, I had no idea that you in the position you are would suffer in that way as well. I thought I was alone, and just by hearing you say that has helped me. You just get one message like that and makes it worth it.
And so your hotel was basically shut from March.
March to the 4th of July.
To the 4th of July.
Do you know what? It's a massive roller coaster. It's still a massive roller coaster, and we mentioned before we started filming about staff issues now, and it's continual roller coaster. And COVID will not stop for another 2-3 years. There will just be effects for quite a while. But when I first went into lockdown, I got so lazy. I was literally watching Netflix, chilling out. My wife painted all the fences.
Because it was lovely summer. It was a beautiful
summer.
We went out on walks, had loads of time with the family.
I saw some put on Facebook, I miss lockdown. Because why not? I was sitting around doing nothing. But like you say, you get bored and you get itchy and then you got to do something.
I really struggled, and like you had that whole... I was much stronger mentally during lockdown 1 because of the experience I'd had for the 4 years building up to that. Had I not had depression, had I not had that journey with therapy and understanding how I felt, I was better equipped for lockdown 1. So I actually chilled and I enjoyed it, and I've never been so chilled. I think the most chilled moment was, and they say when you're learning a language, if you dream in that language, you're fluent. For me, the most chilled moment was I was on the sofa and I felt like I'd become part of the sofa. And I lay there for a moment.
Was there crumbs on you and everything else?
Like, this is the most chilled I've ever been. But in that same moment, I thought, will I ever get the energy back to do what I've done to build it back up?
Well, you most definitely did. But I will say that because there was a point, and lockdown in the past 2 years has sort of all amalgamated into one for me. I was very lucky, didn't have to close, continued working. It's brought its own problems, but there was a point during that suddenly, there you were, on everything. Starting something new. Petrolheadonism obviously became more important to you because the hotel was closed. So you've obviously used petrolheadonism and a number of other avenues to create an income and more business. So what route is petrolheadonism now going post-COVID? And what are you doing? You mentioned a Nebworth show. That's a big one.
Hang on a minute, because obviously they always say
that's one.
No, hang on a minute.
Question.
Here's a loaded question.
Added to it.
I've got one. Yours is very good, but we've got to go back to the depression thing. So obviously depression, everyone deals with it in different ways. And it's good that during, it looks like lockdown, you focused your time and energy into doing something where most people wouldn't. And it's clearly worked, because we need to just say what you've pulled up.
Oh yeah.
So, but you work hard for it, and I am not a jealous person. The way when I see somebody who is doing very well for themselves, I'm like, oh, okay, how have they done that? That's not me being nasty, and I don't need to know ins and outs of money and everything else like that. But like you said, you were in lockdown, unsure of what to do. Coming out of lockdown the other end, you work every day. 4 o'clock in the morning, I go onto my Instagram and I wake up and you've been up for 3 hours. And I'm like, what is it? And then I go to bed and it's like 11 o'clock.
I haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm in North Yorkshire.
Oh, he's pre-recorded and he's just got a load he's just banging out, which is a good idea.
Everywhere.
So it's the story of 3 lockdowns, basically. Lockdown 1, I kind of just chilled. But what I realised was I'd been an absolute idiot.
Because you had time to do
what
something.
I'd done was built up loads of different income streams for the hotel.
Okay.
But when the hotel's forcibly closed, I've got nothing coming in.
Yeah, eggs in basket.
But then I've got lots of friends, I've got lots of different fingers in different pies, and I was always admiring and thinking how great they'd done to do that. I thought I'd done similar, but it was all tied to the hotel. So lockdown 1 came out of that flying. 4th of July opened up, big screen in the car park.
Oh, the
hotel.
cinemas.
Right.
Did the cinemas, did the socially distanced car meets for small groups. We did 3 on the first Saturday and the cinema night, and then the Sunday we did another 2. Smashed it. But that was still income for the hotel. Going into lockdown 2, that's when I started thinking about, and it's lockdown 2 that I opened up Petrolheadonism.Club Limited and Purple Chimpanzee Consultants Limited, and then started putting a plan together in lockdown 2, which was only a short one, but I went into the idea of buying the Porsche. The Porsche was going to be my promo car, it was going to be my track car, and then when lockdown 3 hit, I literally, from the day lockdown 3 hit and I closed the hotel again, I did 8,000 miles between that day and 5th of March. And I did not stop. And that's what, like you say, you see me here, there, everywhere.
You didn't stop.
And one of the hashtags I came up with was omnipresenter. A friend of mine has the hashtag brand everything. Mine was omnipresenter. I just wanted Petrolheadism to be seen everywhere, where you may not even expect it to be seen.
Branding is key, and I do see, you have that on the GT4 wannabe. Maybe you still got it?
So the GT4 wannabe did blow up on the Cannon Run.
Yeah.
It's in bits, and we've had a load of forged and polished parts arrive, and it's going off to be machined to 3.9. So they say it's better than a GT3 RS engine when it's done. So it's going to come back as a GT4 CS.
Okay,
GT4 Ciro Special.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was only reserved for the pizza.
Well, the hotel's for sale. But if the hotel sells when it sells, and we'll talk about that if you want to, but I'll get a pizza van, and then we'll have pizza van with Churro specials at the event.
Nice. So, in answer to Mike's question, what have you turned up in today?
So it's a Lamborghini Aventador Roadster Huber era 1 of 1 of 1 of 1 of 1 of 1. Basically, I bought my dream car.
That's pretty special.
I mean, I'm sitting here now, there's people already out the front.
Yeah, there's a group of people out there looking.
So there's Aventadors for sale all the time.
Yep.
But this one came up at the wrong time, and I've made the mistake of not buying the right car at the wrong time before. And this one came up, and there's only 2 Viola Ophelias in the country. The other's an SV Roadster owned by my friend, and way out of my league in terms of money, especially with what's happened and everything else. So this one came up, relatively cheap price for what it is, 5,000 miles on the clock, 10% clutch wear. Had Raj at Supercar Service look over it, and he said, car's mint. No. And it was mint. Why it was up at that price, no idea. We couldn't find anything wrong with it. And it needed 4 new tyres, which were thrown into the deal as well. Really? I'd already been speaking to Sean Huber, who designed this front and rear bumper plug-and-play kit. Got him into the Lamborghini Club magazine in March. I bought this car end of April, early May, and then got speaking to him and the deal he did me, and it was going to be the first car. There's 2 in Dubai next month, but it was going to be the first car, and I was like, just got to make this happen. I've got to individualise this car to make it a Petrolheadonism car, because it's going to be the jewel in the crown for the brand.
So if you listen to this on a podcast, watch it on YouTube to see the B-roll, because it's a good-looking car.
It's an amazing-looking car.
And I have to ask something, why don't you Liberty Walk it? Joking, don't worry about that.
Because I can literally put that back to stock tomorrow.
They do a plug-on-play kit anyway.
And it wouldn't be a 101 in the UK.
No, they're just the actual... Anyway, don't worry.
We're joking.
No, I'm joking.
January 2018, Autosport International, the green Aventador gets unveiled. There's nothing going to touch that. And that, for me, that was
a special reveal. That was a special reveal.
And I love how it is now, and I like the purple to carbon as well.
The car is absolutely beautiful. And Huber. But you are not just a normal Lamborghini owner.
No.
I mean,
you cut me open, I bleed Lamborghini.
You bleed Lamborghini.
I'm friends with
It's not your only Lamborghini, is it?
No, man, I've got 2 others.
2 other Lamborghinis.
Other Lamborghini.
Which is the...
So I've got 1955 DL25 tractor, but it's very special because it's a Frutetto, which is a vineyard one. So it's probably one of 50, of 200, of 900 maximum.
Short, the narrow wheelbase to get up the old vineyards.
Yeah,
and then I've got the 1959 Lamborghinetta, which translates into Baby Lambo.
Okay.
I've had previous Lamborghini tractors when I had the Gallardo Spider, but these 2 were the ones that were kind of the ones I really wanted, because they're rare.
And these are when you have your Supercar Sunday shows and stuff. They are there as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I've had the previous ones on display. These 2 haven't been out. They've been in storage 2-3 years. BBC Northern Ireland contacted me about 8 weeks ago asking for a tractor to restore, but they wanted one in Ireland. Came back to me a week later, said we'll restore one of yours. The whole story worked because then Fabio Lamborghini would unveil it at my show at the Warren Estate. And I was
That's
like,
a pretty special person to release not only your Lamborghini tractor, but your Lamborghini Aventador. Yeah. Was Mr. Lamborghini, which is pretty
things
special.
have happened over the years. 2013, my cousin and I went to see Rory Byrne in Italy at Maranello to see him about him coming to do an event at the hotel, Ferrari designer for Michael Schumacher at Benetton and Ferrari. And when we were there, picked up a leaflet, the Lamborghini Family Museum. I said to my cousin Bert, well, we need to go. Went there, and the only person there was Fabio Lamborghini. And I was just blown away. He was the curator of the museum.
And who is he in relation to?
So he is the nephew of Ferruccio. So his brother, Ferruccio's brother, was his dad.
Okay.
He worked for the factory. He was there. He witnessed what happened and how it all built up and how it just occurred. And Tonino is obviously Ferruccio's son. Fabio is his cousin, but Fabio was so close to the family and everything that happened, and he really is the most charismatic man. And for somebody to bear the name Lamborghini and be the way he is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Picked him up from the airport before Supercar Sunday at the Warren Estate and told him about the fact that we'd had flat ticket sales 2 days because of thunderstorms, and he just stopped and prayed to Ferruccio, his brother Giorgio, and other family members that have obviously passed away, and prayed for sunshine and smiles and everything. And literally, we did not have a drop of rain during the events on Saturday and the Sunday. And
amazing.
I still go cold just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
amazing. Also, are you not membership secretary?
Yeah, man.
A lot of Lamborghini talk.
A lot of Lamborghini talk. I'm quite jealous. So, membership secretary for the Lamborghini Owners Club.
I'm in 12 car clubs, and I'm very proud of the fact I'm in the Classic Fit 500 club. That was the first club I ever joined. I joined the Lamborghini club when we bought the Gallardo Spider, and I always vowed never to get involved at committee level, but there was just something about the Lamborghini that just makes me feel part of a family. And yeah, I became the membership secretary for the Lamborghini Club, which
Fantastic.
I'm very proud of. I've had a stint as commercial officer as well. It was just a little bit too much with everything else I've got going on.
Everything else you've
But
got.
I've brought in quite a couple of, 2 or 3 commercial deals, because if I've got the contacts in there, I can bring them in, and that's great for the club.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
No,
Fair play to
that's,
you. And I can sort of say, I don't ever feel jealous of people, but work hard and you clearly get what you deserve if that's what you want.
What you've got to do, and you guys know it because you run your own businesses, you've got to persevere and you've got to push to make things happen. Even like, for instance, the most recent thing is Supercar Sunday, the Warren Estate. I literally felt like I was having a heart attack for the 3 weeks building up to that event. There was so much to do, and every event can push you, stretch you in different ways. And there's always obstacles, whether it's the local council, or whether it's the people that own the land where you're having the event, or whether it's personalities come into it, characters come into it, or that poster car isn't going to turn up. Like the poster car for that event was the Bugatti Chiron, owned by one of our friends who's part of the owners of the Warren. But he decided not to bring it out that day. He has a very, very good reason, but I was kind of deflated by it.
Yeah.
And you have that anxiety pre-events, everything else. And, you know, every event has its struggles, but it was such an amazing event to put on. I can't remember the thread, I've lost it. What did you say?
Not being jealous.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
you
sorry,
work
yeah.
hard for
Yeah,
it.
so-
And
You have to put the hours in, and
put the hours.
you have to put the hours in it. But that event could have easily been pulled 3 weeks before. That event could have just I could have said, I can't do this, but I didn't.
But you
have
were
to
right
push,
on the
push,
borderline
push.
for COVID as well, because the restrictions got lifted and then your show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Literally.
19th of July was Freedom Day.
Yeah.
But we'd already hosted at Duxford on the 13th of June, 4,000 people at Duxford. But then Duxford were happier with what we've put in place.
Okay.
You go to the Warren Estate, they weren't. They were real touch and go because of the 19th, will it happen or not? And obviously the 19th of June moved to the 19th of July. We've got Shuttleworth, and again, it's a different venue, different place. But with all these venues, and I'm seeing a lot more venues in the next few months ready for 2022, we're building up collaborations with other car groups, other personalities. So, for instance, it could be a JDM event with Liberty Walk. We stage it, we put it on. I do all the groundwork for you. You guys put it out on your social media. We together sell tickets, and we put on an amazing JDM event next year at some amazing house in Turvey or something. I've got it all there.
You've got it
I'll
all.
send you the business.
No,
plan.
there's a lot, and that's the constant progression. You've got the biggest one coming up in September.
This we've got to talk about, haven't we?
It's a big one.
How did you do that?
We're not talking about the location necessarily, although
No.
it is a big location. We're
It
talking about the special guest, man.
Yeah. So I've been a fan of Gas Monkey since day one.
Sorry, we've got time for this one, or we're going to cut out. Okay, cool. Sorry, the cameras do cut out. Sorry. Camera.
Go on. You've been a fan
I just
of
don't want
Gas
to tell a long
Monkey.
story and the camera's cut out. That was all.
So Gas Monkey, since the first episode of Fast and Loud, I've just always had it on. One of the things blows me away is when I see an American car, I seem to know everything about it 'cause subliminally the information's gone in. But Aaron and Richard, the whole story.
It's a good, entertaining program.
Yeah,
it really is.
There's
yeah.
people that hate it, and like I read the comments on, and it's just like
It's free. It's
really-
TV. If you don't want to watch it, turn it over.
Exactly, it is TV, and if you've been involved in any production, you know how much the reality is a little bit
Yeah.
away from that. But he's an amazing business person. He's an amazing marketing guy, and he is so switched on. And what's happened is, you mentioned about lockdown 1, and all of a sudden I was out and I was everywhere. I started doing Insta lives, and once we could open up a bit, we had cars up at the lawn and do an Insta live, and I'd be hooking up with people in New Jersey and California. Richard was supposed to do an Insta live with me, and then it got pulled the day before. Now, I've always been really protective about putting out something big and then being embarrassed by it. So saying there's a Pagani coming and then it doesn't turn up. So I was reassured it was definitely happening, and then the day before it pulled out and there was contractual issues. Richard has now been released from Discovery. Fast and Loud TV show did 10 seasons, but there's no more. And he's really concentrating on his own brand, making Gas Monkey its own thing and running his own show on YouTube and all his social media. 18 million followers across his social media platforms. Crazy. Mental, absolutely mental. But you can see he's constantly on it as well. Big Chris is a friend, and me and Big Chris speak regularly and have a bit of a laugh, and it's a great relationship. And there was always to bring Richard over to an event.
So people don't know Big Chris is his friend. He's a
Big
UK
Chris
guy in
works
America,
on the
isn't
show. He sources cars. He buys, sells cars. He's English. Okay. He emigrated. If you say he emigrated 6 years ago, 7 years ago now, lives in Texas, down the road from Gas Monkey. And regularly, I'll call Big Chris on a video call, and he'll be walking around Gas Monkey, and Richard's in the back waving and doing his thing, sort of thing. So it's kind of bizarre, but it's amazing as well.
Yeah.
And it was always an idea to bring Richard over to a show in England, and Big Chris wanted to bring him to the Sharnbrook. There's no way I can charge enough per ticket to be able to cover his fee, the flights, and everything else. So it had to be something on a big scale. And September last year, a friend of a friend, we know each other quite well, Mark Harrison, puts on all the concerts in Bedford and around the UK, came to me about Stoner Park wanting to do something on a concours level, not Salon Privé, but Salon Privé-esque. And I was like, fully agree, but not Salon Privé. Salon Privé do their thing, and I love going to their event.
Yeah.
And Goodwood do their thing, and I love going Goodwood. What we need to do is what I do at Sharnbrook, but 10, 20 times bigger. My hashtag is really important to me, like real cars, real people. That's that feeling from that 2007 car show where people came and it was just a nice feeling, people talking to each other. As an owner, you come along, you get talking, and you realise, wow, it's 4 o'clock. It's time to kind of go, sort of thing. So I wanted to keep it that basis, but bring in different attractions. So now Petrolheadonism Live, separate business from Petrolheadonism.Club, but very much part of the umbrella brand. And we've got hypercar enclosure. Every car in a hypercar enclosure has got to be £1 million plus. Might not necessarily be a hypercar. We've got the Mercedes SLS worth 4 million plus coming in. We've got obviously Koenigsegg Regera, and we've got several other cars. Zach's Garage is really pushing that and taking that forward. We've got Lamborghini Club UK that are going to be there. We've got Sporting Bears that are going to run dream rides in supercars and other muscle cars and raise money for Rays of Sunshine. We're going to have the main stage, the car stage. We've got the elite class where we'll have 7 different categories of 7 different clubs. And whilst that's not concours, it's about, for instance, Ren 11. It's 7 Porsches that he's picked as 7 of the best. And then they've got their club areas.
It sounds incredible. What an event. What an event. And that's this September the 18th, 19th?
September 18th, 19th. Richard and Big Chris are sharing it on their social medias, which is blowing me away.
Oh, that's incredible.
Petrolheadonism is literally everywhere. The car has dropped about a week ago and it's been everywhere.
That's been incredible.
Sean's been amazing on the marketing of the Huber kit and the design. It's been in Drive Tribe. It's been
Top Gear.
It's been Top Gear Malaysia, yeah.
Oh, it's Top Gear Malaysia, wasn't it? I seen it on Top Gear. Yeah.
Top Gear is still Top Gear.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I was like, it's Top Gear. Exactly.
It's Top Gear. Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Incredible.
Like
and that event is going to be, and I suppose that's the start to many other big events.
Well, Petrolheadonism Live, going forward, we want to be taking it to Castle Howard in York. Everybody up north says to me, come on, there's not enough up north. I'm looking at 3 venues up north, 1 for Petrolheadonism Live and a couple for different car shows. And there are contacts up there that I can collaborate with. Because one of the things I can't do is I can't sell all the tickets for every event. There's got to be like Yukushi, we did a Japanese event. He already had a good database of people, and we've just grown that database. I love the Jap scene and JDM, and I haven't got a JDM car in my collection, but having bought that, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford one for a little while. So I'm going to just borrow your Supra.
Yes.
Told you Liberty Walk to get the best of both.
No, that's right. You can, and we've been to a number of your events, and we hope to continue. So you've got Nebworth this September. I take it you're going to get that out of the way, or is there any other big events planned? Are you starting for next year?
The
or?
next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we've got 4 big events. We've got 15th of August is Shuttleworth Tucked at the Park.
Yeah.
5th of September is Max Power Reunion at Toaster.
Oh, yeah, yes,
yeah,
Pipercross have sponsored that event,
exactly.
and I think our Supra's going to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's a Toaster, isn't it? Yeah.
Then we've got the only other Sharnbrook event after Beds Modified, which is 22nd of August. We've then got the 5th of September, which is VAG Society, which is selling tickets galore. It's amazing. And then 26th of September, the week after Nebworth, we're looking at RAF Wittering to do a very special event. That's not been publicised yet, but it will be a tucked Petrolheadonism event where it'll be supercars. We've got full use of the runway. They're going to bring Chinooks. If it can't go ahead end of September, then it will be happening in April, May. We're just trying to get clearance at the 8th level. It just keeps going up, and we're getting clearance at every level. Potential of earning so much money for Rays of Sunshine, both at Nebworth and the week after, is phenomenal.
That's incredible. So there's so many events going on, which is good news for all
Petrol
the
heads.
petrol heads. You
Exactly.
know, there's so much going on. We can be out now. We can visit shows. There
It's
is,
interesting to see the amount of shows that you're now involved with, because I probably couldn't name a show that you're probably not that we could potentially attend. I think the only ones that are probably big enough that I would probably know. Oh, you can't even mention like tracks. Did you go to? Do you go to tracks? Do you have like a Petrolheadism stand promoting your show?
It will be the
tracks sort of
first
thing?
time this time. So I've got Petrolheadonism ambassadors.
Yeah.
Which, if you go to the website, you can become an ambassador. It's £40 for 2 years. You get merch and you get invites to special things.
loads of discounts on other products as well,
Yeah.
on the ambassador
Yeah,
scheme.
exactly.
Yeah.
You give discount on
I
things
think we
don't you?
do, yeah.
Exactly. And EBC brakes and etc. For some of the ambassadors worked out just by buying a set of brakes, the amount they
They've
save.
got their 40 quid back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with the ambassadors, we went from 30 in January to 140 in the last 9 months, and that's just the testament to how Petrolheadonism is literally everywhere at the moment. People are seeing it and wanting to be part of it, and it's a great movement. But those ambassadors, there's a pocket of them that have registered for tracks and taken a stand. I personally can't be there, I don't think.
No. But they'll be there
But they're
promoting
gonna be
the
there.
shows.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
That's good.
exactly.
That's good.
There was another one that's happening. Oh, of course, I'm the official commentator at Supercar Fest now.
Ah, yes.
Oh, on the
is
runway.
Shelsley,
Yes.
That's
so-
quite a big one, wasn't
Back
it?
with his mic and his date light.
Yeah, so you can't give
So
it
I've
away.
dropped the megaphone and they give me a mic. It's more power.
Oh,
They can hear
okay.
me further.
More
But
power.
The Supercar Fest, we had an amazing stand at Supercar Fest. We had several Liberty Walk cars on the stand.
You did.
About half an hour into the event, Robin and Mark came over to me and said, Ciro, do you mind doing some commentating? Because our commentator's been held up. His car's been taken by the police with no insurance and stuff. So, yeah, no insurance, no tax, driving up from the south. And they said, can you do some commentating? I was like, I'll make you proud. Give me the mic. And literally, when the commentator arrived about 12:30, I'd done about an hour and a half by that point. He was looking for his little book, because I didn't realise that there's a book with numbers and the cars had numbers on them. I just knew all the cars. He goes, how long you been doing this for? I was like, no, this is my first gig. I was like, I'm just doing filling in for you. He goes, but you know everybody and you know the cars. And this is one of the things the last 12 months have made me realise how strong Petrolheadonism is a brand, but also how strong my personal relationships are with people. Yeah. And we touched on this before we started rolling. It's so important to have one-on-one relationships with people. There's a lot of politics in the scene at the car show level, but I'd imagine also at what you do in terms of being a business. And I've always had one-on-one relationship with people, and that's how I just run everything I do. And everybody's welcome at my events, but also I'm conscious of some of the politics and some of the love and hate between people. But
Yeah,
that doesn't stop. That stops on my doorstep.
I can't get so involved, you know, in our business, you know, there are people that don't get on with other people. I can't have it. I'm a supplier to the industry as a whole, as you are. You're offering events for people to attend, and it's very, very difficult to look after certain people. Yeah.
We're all in this because we like cars.
Yeah, that's
Simple
right.
as that,
Yeah,
you know, really,
yeah.
otherwise
It's not
what's
a
the point?
It's very difficult
Yeah,
to do that.
I've got to ask a question. What do we do in the next... So you've been going car shows since 2007. What's the next 10 years of car shows, do you think, in your eyes? Now, the reason why I say that is what really opened my eyes up, and I didn't realise that you paid attention as well. We went to Goodwood. Did you go this year to Goodwood? Yeah. What did you see a lot of? There's a big tent in the middle.
Electric.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. I Can I
We're out for
swear?
time.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're out for time. Yeah, cool.
Massive tent of EV.
No, what
EV's
winds
going
me
up the
is
hill.
there's other ways of bringing down the carbon issue and everything else with vehicles, but they're ignoring that and they're pushing this EV agenda, and it just annoys me because they're soulless. And yes, their performance is great. Tesla's are fast, the ludicrous mode and stuff is great, but you get bored of it.
Yeah, but almost without sounding horrible to anything really. Most modern cars are quite boring. You know, you go and get in a new M135i and its launch control is 4 and a bit seconds and does 150 mile an hour. What more do you want a hatchback to do? The reason why obviously everything's getting pushed towards electric is these smart motorways. They can monitor you and they can just charge you a fortune for driving per mile. That's the next thing that they're going to start to do. So they can just keep an eye on where you're driving and send you an invoice because they can't do electricity and go, hey, you owe us a load of money, because on petrol there's a heap of money they're making. So they can't do that. But
I can't see you having electrohedonism and having a
But if they bring
list of
out-
electric vehicles
But
on
if
display.
Lamborghini bring out some all singing, all dancing replacement for whatever,
The Urus.
yeah, and it's full electric, you know, and okay, cool, and like we've got a show, and they start turning up. You know,
Every
there's going to be
brand
an
would
element.
have to have something. So like Fiat have been very clever. They've chosen the 500, one of their best-selling vehicles, 500e.
Yeah.
Ford, what were they going to do? They weren't going to do a Mondeo E. They used Mustang. They've used the Mustang brand because there's already a big following. And
You could charge a premium because it's
is
a
it
Mustang.
a Mustang?
No.
It's an SUV. You know, it divides Mustang people, but there's Mustang owners that I know that would happily have the Mach-E as well as their Mustang on a driveway. Does it balance out their carbon emissions? I don't think so. But where am I with it? I'm just going to have a whole collection of combustion engine cars.
Just store petrol.
And hopefully you could pick up some 90s, 2000s, like modern classics, store them and just use them. Like I love my 1974 V8 4.5 litre Mercedes. I love my
I think
92
Jay's
300
one as
SL. Yeah. I just love those old cars, the combustion engine, that rumble, the feeling. You just lose all of that with electric cars. And I'll just say, again, they're soulless.
Yeah, yeah. I had a Tesla last week for a few days, and yeah, incredibly quick. We did put some 0 to 60 times together and so on, but it is soulless. It isn't the
Once you've shown all your
experience.
mates ludicrous mode
Oh,
at the
yeah.
launch and you've made them all feel sick once or twice.
The giggle factor goes,
That's
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I had one for about 3 days. Previous to that, a couple of years before, I'd had one for a week or 2 weeks. But it just became boring. I didn't end up using it for the last day of the time I had it for.
You're right. You're right. So we're going to be touching on that almost in every section. You know, the future, what is going to happen. But so you envisage shows continuing with combustion engine vehicles
Absolutely.
as they become classics. I mean, you've got a V12.
People bringing along 60s, 70s Mopar muscle cars and classic cars.
Well, they'll still be
to
around in
shows
10 years'
today.
time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
it's just to sort of see. So I won't be hosting an EV show at your place then, because we're not welcome.
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Are you going
Soulless.
down that route?
No, well, it's an interesting conversation. We have it a lot. We've done
Imagine that, no music,
We have to.
just soulless completely.
this last week in
Be
5
like
days.
silent disco.
That's weird, isn't it? Yeah. We've lowered 3 Teslas this week. And I haven't lowered 1 Golf GTI. So it's coming.
My
I'm not saying
cousins bought, they're into their cars, but they bought 2 Teslas. Their business boomed through lockdown 1 and 2 and 3. And the accountant told them, go buy 2 Teslas because that 200 grand you spend comes off your net profit. You don't pay
Nice tax
Yeah,
efficient.
absolutely. But what did one cousin do? Well, actually, both of them. One of them was like souped it up with custom kit and everything, carbon. I saw it the other day on the road. Looked pretty cool. Didn't look like a drone anymore because I think like the S and the P's look a bit droney, like a numbed down Mondeo. But then my other cousin with the Tesla X, and he's got the singing, dancing doors and stuff. He put a body kit on it, and he put the Miltech exhausts on it, make the noise and stuff. It sounds shit, but sounds like a robot. But
they are finding ways, aren't they?
They're
Yeah.
finding ways
They
to
are.
try
They are.
and make it fun.
We have to be prepared for electric vehicles becoming more commonplace, Porsche Taycan, etc. And we already have tuning modules for certain cars. You have the Thor exhausts, the electronic exhausts, styling, lowering, etc.
Did I use a brand that you don't do?
You did use a brand that we don't do. It's not a problem because we do offer a far superior system.
Anyway. Yeah, that's 2 insults, isn't it? Didn't go for Liberty Walk. And
exactly.
Said the M word as well, and no pizza. Because it was like, Teslas are coming, you know, or not just Teslas. Isn't it funny when you talk to EV? The first thing everyone says is Tesla. How's that happen?
Yeah, Volkswagen, ID3, ID4, Porsche Taycan,
BMW i3.
But you just,
BMW i3.
But then, as soon as you say electric, everyone just thinks Tesla. It's strange.
Yeah.
But it was always just to sort of say, so 5 years. If you said, okay, 5 years time now, where are we seeing you?
Petrolheadonism.
Couple of shows, out in events, merch, more cars, YouTube channel. I mean,
So
you have
I've got a
YouTube
YouTube channel. We only started it in November, December. Scoot runs that for me, and he does an amazing job of it. He's really.
We'll put all your links down below as well.
Thank you. He's really done an amazing job. His edits are getting better and better. Our most successful videos have been with collaborations like Rata Rossa, a friend of mine, Scott, who's got a brilliant Ferrari page. So it's constantly building the collaboration, building that channel, and we're nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone for us.
That's good going, yeah.
Where will it be in the next 5 years? So next year is going to be big. I'm going to reduce the number of shows, because I've done about 30 this year, and reduce the number of shows to having one decent sized show every weekend. But you've probably seen this summer, I've done a big one on a Saturday and then a Sunday at 2 different venues.
Yeah.
And literally had 3 hours sleep, and I'm on it. But I just need to be a bit more clever about where I do them and what I do back to back.
Do you ever get to see Mrs. Ciro?
She loves it because I spent so much time at home, lockdown 1, 2, not 3, that she literally said, get out there, do what you need to do. And she's very supportive, encouraged me. But we do need a holiday.
And your daughters are involved now.
Yeah.
I've met your daughters a couple of times now when you brought them to events or they're helping and assisting.
Yeah.
And I think they're getting
awesome,
involved.
4 daughters. You think, I haven't got a son, not that ever bothered me, but my eldest is so into cars.
Yeah.
Daughter number 3 now is kind of badgering, saying, I want to come and earn some money, I want to help out. So at Shuttleworth, she's getting involved as well.
Very
daughter
good.
number 3. Daughter number 2 has no interest, she's a gymnast, and daughter number 4 is just too young, and she's a little princess. But you know, it's amazing. The family life is fantastic. They're all really supportive of what I do, and obviously you kind of pinch yourself because you don't realise the circles you move in because of the people you get to know. And you know, there is that kind of social media side to thing, everything, but there is that very real side to things.
Richard Rawlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I know you say we don't get jealous, but I do a little bit about that.
It'd be nice if he turned up here, wouldn't it?
It would be.
So how does that? You have to look after him as well. Do you pick him up, take him to a hotel, buy his flight? Because I can't imagine he's going to come over on EasyJet.
No. So it's
That's not going to be cheap.
No. But that's again coming back.
It doesn't matter what you pay for.
There's people out there saying I'm not going to pay a ticket to put my car on show because without my car you don't have a show. But there's all these things that this show is very different to every other show, and it is celebrating people with their cars. And we've got a big area. I think we've got 80 Mustangs booked in by the Simply Mustangs crowd. They want to be part of that. And Richard's going to be on.
Where do you get your tickets from for Nebworth?
Petrolheadonism.Club, the website, or the link on our bio, and it's all there. And you can get show car tickets or your spectator tickets.
And a chance to meet Richard Rawlins.
Is he going to film it as well for his YouTube?
Yeah, he's got his stepson, Sinjin's coming over. I'm going to take him out in the Lambo, like make sure he's really happy, and make sure he posts loads. So they're going to be filming it. They're going to be doing loads of social media.
Fantastic.
They're already posting it, talking about it. I was supposed to be going over to America, but obviously America's shut down with COVID. But that would have been nice to be on the podcast with him and do what we do.
Got next year for that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's very good. It's nice to see people succeeding after what has been
And
a
all
really
main
hard couple of years.
sponsors, if you're interested as a business, all main sponsors get a visit by Richard to their stand. Photos, everything else.
That's
Nice.
good. So that is
That's
a good
good.
thing, isn't it? Yeah,
That is
really
good. Worth the investment then.
Yeah. Because what that made, that, like I sort of say, I see shows all the time coming up, and then when you said Richard Rawlins coming, it's like, wow, that's going to bring up a lot of people. Yeah. A lot of people are going to come
definitely.
and see him.
And it's that angle, because I know I can get the hypercars there, I can get the supercars there. I've got Lamborghini Club, got Lamborghini Hatfield, got McLaren Hatfield getting involved. It's just on their doorstep.
Yeah.
But the Richard Rawlins angle really brings in the old American trucks, the new American stuff. Yeah, and we've got Richard Rawlins' original shop truck coming to the event. It's Big Chris brought it into the UK. At some point, he sold it on, and the owner has contacted me, and we've got that coming along as well.
Amazing.
No way.
No, that would be a really good event. Really
Fair
good
play to you,
event.
because you are working hard, and we all believe that, the people that generally watch, we're hoping that watch this podcast, are all business like-minded people, and it's up and down. You could be up and coming and working as many hours as you can, but then look at you.
It's not
You've done
plain
it.
sailing. It's
No, it never
bloody
is. No,
hard.
it really isn't
I've
in
had
any
4
business.
really difficult days.
Yeah.
But you just have to overcome it, and
Well, you're filling up your Lambo every day. It's difficult. It's difficult.
I put it in the garage, covered it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then that's why you, said a work perk and a tool, but it must make you feel pretty like, I'm glad I'm working hard because I've got something to show for it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's the whole point of it. Otherwise, what is the point of it? And you did, because I know we've got to wrap up soon, you did touch briefly that you might be selling the hotel.
Yeah, the hotel has been on the market for sale. Make a brilliant investment property for an Asian family to run massive weddings from, etc. Or it could be a great care home, or it could be a great boutique hotel as it is now.
It's
It's
on a
lovely
huge
venue.
plot of land, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's 4 acres, and it commands that whole corner of Sharnbrook. It's become a destination venue for everything we've done at the hotel. As I said, I created lots of different income streams for the business, built it up as a family, but COVID kind of stopped us in our tracks, and there's some family politics in the background, but for me, the determining factor was COVID. It made me realise how much I've missed out on the family time at home, how much my daughters have grown up in that short period of time. I was 30 when we opened it. I was 43 when lockdown hit, and those 13 years are kind of like a big blur. There's family holidays, there's family time, but I missed out on so many family weddings or funerals or functions because I was so busy at the hotel. And I remember actually thinking about my priorities, and business was always first, and didn't really neglect the family, but it made me realise with lockdown 1 that I had, and you need to have that self-realisation, that understanding and whole world view. And it was, again, we went on the Cannon Run spring break, me and Ella did
With
in
your
the
daughter,
Porsche, and that was amazing. It was as if lockdown had never happened, as if COVID didn't exist, because we were filming. And I was on the Saturday afternoon, we were driving around the south coast, and it was an amazing view. And I said to Ella, this would not have happened if it were not for COVID. I would never have taken a weekend out to go away.
Bar working.
You'd be working.
Yeah, I would have been.
Yeah.
And I just said to her, thank COVID for this.
It has
because-
given some good things and bad.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
and,
definitely.
And like I say, fair play to you. But if you fell out, you probably didn't fall. But if COVID is pointing in a direction, you kind of fell out a little bit of love with the hotel. At least you're doing something you're passionate about.
Yeah, this is it. A wise old man, Malcolm, said it to me many years ago, bless his soul. He said to me, if you find something you enjoy doing, it's no longer work.
Yeah.
So many people have heard that.
But it is
said so many
true.
times. But when he said it to me, back then I was in my early 20s, I thought, yeah, that'd be nice. But everything, and it made me realise, COVID did, everything I've done through after university was, I've kind of pushed into it, the family business and things like that. And I love the hotel, really passionate about it. That's what drove me, and really successful with it. But yeah, the car stuff is where I'm like literally driven.
Yeah, you
Just
can
change
see it
relationships,
as well.
you
You
know.
can see it
Exactly.
as well.
And that's the whole point of this podcast, is the fact that we work hard, and to sometimes get a bit of the love of the industry back, and talking to like-minded people does tend to help, So it's good for us as well. But no, fair play to you, buddy. So that's it. I think I'm good for questions. I'm just excited to we're going to Nebworth. I think we're with the Centurion, so bringing a couple of cars across as well and tagging on the back of there, so that'll be pretty good. And we'll push that on our socials. So I'm excited to go there.
That's
I
good.
expect to drink beer.
Yeah.
Does it work like that?
No.
Oh, okay, right, okay, exactly. So no, I'm good with. That's it. So
Well, thank you
absolutely been amazing.
very
Been a
much
good insight.
for being our first guest.
Oh, right, because the first one was you guys.
Just us
Yeah.
two.
Nice to see you
You're our
watched it.
the
first
scene,
guest.
yeah.
Have you watched
I
it?
haven't watched it and purposefully did not watch it. I'm actually watching it tonight. I'll lie in bed. I've got YouTube on the TV.
No, don't watch it in bed. No,
Not one of those.
No, definitely not. It was a hot day. We're a bit sweaty.
Story it and tag you later.
It would be great. Have a watch. Let us know. And if you think it's dreadful,
don't care.
you're on the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's been great, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Again, thank you to Liberty Walk for letting us use their cafe. Thanks to Monster. I think they've just dumped a load of energy drinks here.
They have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fully equipped with Monster now.
Are we set for the next guests?
Yes.
You can't say who, can we?
No, we're not.
You'll have to just stay tuned. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. This has been Motormouths. I'm Mike.
James,
I'm Ciro.
Thanks a lot.
thank you.